Welcome again, YouTubers, to my channel. This is Sheldoc's channel. I got a question from one of my viewers about the alternator, and the question is that is lights, not just his headlights, but even the roof light inside the vehicle when he turns it on in the night, whenever he turns it on and driving the vehicle, the lights are just winking consistently, and he's wondering if the alternator has anything to do with it. Now, yes, the alternator has a lot to do with that, and it is based on how the alternator operates in order to produce the voltage or the current that is required by the engine and the different electrical components of the vehicle. Now, how the alternator can cause the lights to wink on your vehicle. Now, the alternator as it is generating alternating current, and that is why it gets that name alternator. It generates alternating current, and this alternating current is similar to the current that we use when we plug in anything in our house, or iron, or television, or radio if we are charging our phone. Anything that you plug into the socket in the wall, we are getting alternating current. So the alternator produces alternating current. However, this one in your vehicle produces 12 volts. The one in your house produces 120 and up, depending on the country that you're living in. So how does the alternator can cause your lights to wink? Now, when the alternator is in operation, the vehicle does not use this alternating current. It has to change the alternating current into what we call direct current. So the alternating current is going to follow a pattern up and down, and it's going to alternate between positive 12 and negative 12. And this alternation creates what you call the alternating current. So it keeps moving up and down. That is how that voltage travels. Now, with a direct current, it's a smooth current just flowing in one direction. So the engine and the electrical components on the vehicle does not use this alternating current. It uses direct current. So there's something in the alternator that changes this alternating current into direct current, and it's called a bridge rectifier circuit. And at the end of this bridge rectifier circuit, there is what you call a voltage regulator. So what the bridge rectifier circuit does is to take this alternating current and change into direct current. So when it changes into direct current, it is sent to this voltage regulator that ensure that the voltage remains at 12 volts. Now, the vehicle uses 12 volts, and that is why they use that voltage regulator. Now, how does the alternator with this bridge rectifier circuit can cause your lights to wink like that? Now, it can cause the lights to wink when a section of the bridge rectifier circuit is not working properly. So what happens if that section is not working is that when the rectifier circuit takes the up and down movement of that current and change it into one single directional current, what is happening is that when it starts at 0 and the current goes up, when it comes back down to 0, instead of going to negative 12, it flips back and continues to positive 12 to 0, positive 12 to 0. Now, what happens is that part of this bridge rectifier circuit is damaged. So when this part is damaged, you're getting 0, it goes up to positive 12, come back down to 0, and that section that start from 0 going back up to positive 12 disappear. So you only have one cycle of that alternating current being rectified. And because that one cycle is being rectified, you have a space in between the graph, and it continues, and a space, and it continues, and a space, and it continues. So that space level off at the 0 line. When it levels off at the 0 line, at that point no current is being sent either to the engine or to the rest of the circuit, So what happens is that at that space on the zero line, the current basically drops. And when it drops, and when the alternator starts on the other cycle, and then it goes to 12 and go back down to 0. So you have a alternating current that have a gap in it, which should not be. It should be a consistent line going across, and because of that gap, it causes the headlamps to go down when the current goes to 0, and then whenever it comes back up from 0 to 12, then the headlamp come on. And if you have that consistently, you have this winking in the headlamp. So this is what happens when you have the rectifier circuit being damaged in your alternator. It only rectifies half of the alternating current, and the other half is not rectified. So it creates a current that is constantly moving like this. So it's constantly up and down, and have a gap in between each of those up and down. So because of that gap, it creates that similar winking effect on the headlamp, and that is what causes the problem with the headlamp. When you see it is winking like that, and not just the headlamp but all the lights inside your vehicle, they keep winking, is because part of the bridge rectifier circuit on the alternator is bad. So you can check that out. If it is a case where you need to change the entire alternator, you change it. If it's a case where you want to just change that bridge rectifier circuit, you can go ahead and change it. But the issue is, what caused the problem with the bridge rectifier circuit in the first place? If it is that the alternator is what damages that part of the circuit, you don't want to change the bridge rectifier circuit section of the alternator and then leave the other sections, and then over time the alternator damage that other part of the bridge rectifier circuit. So if you want to change it, you can change that section of the bridge rectifier circuit, or the bridge rectifier circuit itself. Or if you want to change the entire alternator, you can go ahead and do so. Well, hopefully this video help you in understanding what can cause your lights to wink when your car is in operation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have yourself a nice time.